The long-term heating of Earth's surface has caused a shift in the temperature and weather patterns of the globe. This is global warming, which was all natural and very slow before 1800s, but since then human activities has enhanced the global warming and plays a very harmful role in the raising temperature of the globe. Hi everyone! I'm Atif, and today we'll discuss these harmful activities, the dangerous effects, and much more interesting stuff about global warming. So let's get started without any waste of time. But if you're new to the channel, press the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. 1. What are the main causes of global warming? Global warming, also known as climate change, is primarily caused by human activities that release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The main causes include 1. Carbon dioxide, CO2, emissions. The burning of fossil fuels, such as coal, oil, and natural gas, for energy production is the largest contributor to CO2 emissions. Industrial processes, deforestation, and land use changes also release CO2. 2. Methane emissions. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas released during the production and transport of coal, oil, and natural gas. It is also emitted by livestock and other agricultural practices, as well as from landfills and wastewater treatment. 3. Deforestation. Forests act as carbon sinks, absorbing CO2 from the atmosphere. Deforestation, especially in tropical regions, contributes to global warming as trees are cut down and their carbon is released back into the atmosphere. 4. Nitrous oxide, N2O, emissions. Nitrous oxide is released from agricultural and industrial activities, as well as the combustion of fossil fuels and solid waste. It is also emitted by certain chemical processes and the use of nitrogen-based fertilizers. 5. Industrial processes. Various industrial activities release greenhouse gases, including hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs, perfluorocarbons, PFCs, and sulfur hexafluoride, SF6. These gases are used in various applications, such as refrigeration, air conditioning, and electronics. 6. Land use changes. Converting forests and other natural ecosystems into agricultural land or urban areas releases carbon stored in vegetation and soil. This conversion disrupts the balance of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. 7. Waste management. Improper waste management, including the decomposition of organic waste in landfills, produces methane. Additionally, the incineration of waste releases CO2 and other greenhouse gases. 2. Impacts of global warming. Global warming has significant impacts on the environment, ecosystems, and human societies. Here are some of the key effects. 1. Rising temperatures. Average global temperatures have been increasing, leading to heat waves and more frequent and intense heat events. This can result in heat-related illnesses, reduced agricultural productivity, and strain on energy systems. 2. Melting ice and rising sea levels. As temperatures rise, glaciers and ice caps melt, contributing to rising sea levels. This leads to coastal erosion, increased flooding, and the loss of coastal habitats. Low-lying islands and coastal regions are particularly vulnerable to these effects. 3. Extreme weather events. Global warming increases the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events such as hurricanes, cyclones, droughts, and heavy rainfall events. These events can cause significant damage to infrastructure, agriculture, and human settlements, leading to loss of life and economic losses. 4. Changes in precipitation patterns. Climate change affects precipitation patterns, leading to changes in rainfall distribution and intensity. Some regions may experience increased rainfall and flooding, while others may face more frequent droughts and water scarcity. These changes can disrupt agriculture, water supply, and ecosystems. 5. Ecosystem disruptions. Global warming disrupts ecosystems and biodiversity. Shifts in temperature and precipitation patterns can alter habitats and disrupt the timing of natural events such as flowering, migration, and hibernation. Species may struggle to adapt, leading to changes in species distribution, loss of biodiversity, and potential extinctions. 6. Ocean acidification. Increased levels of CO2 in the atmosphere are absorbed by the oceans, leading to ocean acidification. This has detrimental effects on marine ecosystems, especially coral reefs and shell-forming organisms. It can disrupt food chains and impact fisheries, affecting the livelihoods of coastal communities. 7. Health impacts. Global warming poses risks to human health. Heat waves can cause heatstroke, respiratory problems, and cardiovascular diseases. Changing climate patterns may also contribute to the spread of vector-borne diseases like malaria and dengue fever. Additionally, displaced populations due to climate-related events face challenges to their mental and physical well-being. 8. Economic and social disruptions. The impacts of global warming have economic and social consequences. Damage to infrastructure, increased healthcare costs, declining agricultural yields, and forced migration can lead to economic instability, social unrest, and inequalities, both within and between countries. Addressing global warming and mitigating its impacts require collective efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, transition to renewable energy sources, adapt to changing conditions, and promote sustainable practices across various sectors. 3. Mitigation and adaptation state GIES of global warming. Mitigation and adaptation are two key approaches to addressing global warming. While mitigation aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and slow down the rate of climate change, adaptation focuses on preparing for and managing the impacts of climate change. Here are some strategies for both. Mitigation strategies. 1. Transition to renewable energy. Promote the use of renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower, which produce fewer greenhouse gas emissions compared to fossil fuels. 2. Energy efficiency. Improve energy efficiency in buildings, transportation, and industrial processes to reduce energy consumption and emissions. 3. Phasing out fossil fuels. Encourage the phasing out of coal-fired power plants and the gradual transition away from fossil fuel-based energy systems towards cleaner alternatives. 4. Forest conservation and reforestation. Protect existing forests and promote reforestation efforts as trees absorb carbon dioxide and help mitigate climate change. 5. Sustainable agriculture. Implement sustainable farming practices such as precision agriculture, agroforestry, and organic farming, which reduce emissions from agricultural activities and promote carbon sequestration. 6. Green transportation. Encourage the adoption of electric vehicles, improve public transportation systems, and the development of cycling and walking infrastructure to reduce reliance on fossil fuel-powered vehicles. 7. Carbon pricing. Implement carbon pricing mechanisms such as carbon taxes or cap-and-trade systems to incentivize businesses and industries to reduce emissions. Adaptation strategies. 1. Climate-resilient infrastructure. Design and construct infrastructure that can withstand the impacts of climate change, such as stronger buildings, flood barriers, and resilient transportation systems. 2. Water management. Develop water conservation strategies, improve water storage and distribution systems, and implement measures to adapt to changing precipitation patterns and water scarcity. 3. Ecosystem-based adaptation. Protect and restore natural ecosystems such as wetlands and mangroves, which provide natural buffers against climate-related events like storms and flooding. 4. Disaster risk reduction. Strengthen early warning systems, emergency response mechanisms, and community preparedness to cope with climate-related disasters. 5. Health preparedness. Enhance public health systems to address the increased risks of heat waves, vector-borne diseases, and other health impacts of climate change. 6. Climate information and decision-making. Improve climate monitoring and prediction systems and ensure that climate information is accessible and used in decision-making processes across sectors. 7. Community engagement and capacity building. Empower local communities to understand and adapt to climate change through education, awareness raising, and capacity building initiatives. Thank you for watching the video. If you're new to the channel, press the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. And don't forget to like the video.